Hello, this is Caelan Huntress, and today I'm going to do a homepage review of ClassicalGuitarShed.com. This is a membership website run by Alan Matthews, who's a classical guitar teacher, and I really like a number of things about this homepage. So I'm going to talk about 4 things that I like and 4 things that I would improve about this website. The first thing that I like about this homepage is the simple navigation bar. I mean, it's not even really a bar. It's so back in the background. You know, it blends in beautifully to the header. And it doesn't stick out. You know, there's not a big wide black bar, which saves the real estate up here to show this great background photo that we have of Alan playing. And the second thing that I really like about this website is the condensed use of the header. We've got a picture in the background of Alan in the zone. He's playing. The call to action is really clear. This is what his members want. They want to play guitar more beautifully. And then we've got an easy 7-step formula, and you just click right here. Everything you need, it's more than halfway above the fold. So that's the second thing I like, is that everything is really condensed and put in really well in the header. The third thing that I like is that he focuses on the pain point. I doubted this would ever feel natural. And then we get this personal letter from Alan talking about what it was like for him as a classical guitarist. And this is exactly the feeling that his customers are going through. And this is really well done. If you can address the pain point of your customer and share empathy with them, then they're immediately going to be drawn in. So that's the third thing that I really like, is he focuses on the pain point. And the fourth thing that I really like is that there's one simple call to action here on the homepage. You get the 7 steps formula. You subscribe to the email newsletter list. If you've been here before and you know where you're going, there's a lot of places where you can go. And this website has a lot under the hood. And so I know that there's a whole lot here, but the homepage isn't cluttered with all these different calls to action. You know, if you're gonna log in or create an account, he could have had big buttons everywhere saying create an account here, log in over here, buy this course over here. He's actually got a large number of courses for sale on this website. He's also got a membership program on this website, so there's a lot he could have put on the homepage. And instead, the homepage is focused. It's simple. Get this free tool, and that is the one simple, clear call to action on the homepage. And that's the fourth reason I like this homepage, is because it's a simple, clear call to action. And now I'm going to talk about 4 things that I would improve about this homepage. The first thing that I would improve is I would do a copy revision on this letter. Alan's a really great copywriter. He's the one that turned me on to using Hemingway app, which has significantly improved my writing. And sometimes when you're really good at what you do, you don't get somebody in to take that second pass about it. And this sentence right here really tripped me up. Music up to performance level without months of tinkering. I found this really jarring. You know, there's not a verb in there like, do you want your music up to, and so like I see where he's going with it. It's conversational. Maybe if these 3 were in bullets, it might come across the way that he's the way that it would be conversationally. But since this is like when we first get into copy, I found this section jarring. And there's a couple of other things in here that could be cleaned up too. Especially this call to action, I don't think it's as strong as this call to action. Get the 7 steps formula. I see this as much clearer than get the free tool. You know, if you know, what kind of tool do you use on a classic guitar? It makes me think of something you would pull out of a toolbox, which you don't put on a classical guitar unless you're a luthier, and then it's just all these different, it brings up a lot of linguistic confusion for me. But get the free formula? When I see a formula juxtaposed against playing guitar more beautifully, then that's something that I want. So that's the first thing I would improve, is I would just have a copywriter come in and do a second pass to throw some edits in there. The second thing that I would improve is I would have this photo in line. I really like it that we're introduced to Alan here. But the date, I don't think we need the date because this shows that he wrote this letter last year. If anything, we could have it automatically update with today's date or just leave it off. So what I would do is I would have this inline right next to this first introduction in the copy. Because this is when Alan's voice comes in, and on my browser, it's I'm cutting off the top of his head here, and all the condensed space is used so well up here. Having his headshot right here below the CBS News logo with this text right next to it, this could be its own little breakout box. Alan's face, his quote, and then his name, and then below that we go into the letter. And this leads me to the third thing that I would improve. I would put this whole letter in a border. Something with, like here we have a border with a shadow around the edge. I wouldn't do a red border here, but something with a shadow around the edge to make it look like a letter that was dropped on a desk. You know, as inline content, because it's so personal, I think that a border might really help this section stand out. And then the fourth thing that I would improve is I would put photos here with these testimonials. These are great testimonials, but I think that if we can get a photo of the people giving the testimonials, ideally playing guitar, it would be great, but even just some headshots. I think the headshots would do really good. And then as just a final minor note, since this one starts with Sir, I would move this one down to the bottom. Like the Hi Alan, it's much more personable. This is what people are saying, and it puts it in context rather than Sir. It kind of jars me out a little bit because this isn't a Sir environment. There's not a lot of authority here, as in, you know, a sergeant and a soldier or anything like that. And that's what this makes me think of. I could see the purpose of it is he wanted to give an honorific because he was helped so much by this site. And I think that would flow really nicely down at the bottom. And this Hi Alan one might be the one to really introduce, because then it frames these are testimonials to Alan, for Alan, and about Alan. And that's what this website is. It's for Alan and about Alan. Well, it's about Alan and it's for his students. Overall, I really like this website. They just redesigned the entire thing in Toolset. So there's a lot of really interesting technology going on under the hood, and I think that the homepage frames it really well. So these are the 4 things that I like and the 4 things that I would improve about classicalguitarshed.com. If you'd like your own homepage review, there's a link in the description below. Thanks.